Hello, welcome back to my tea house. For today's cup of tea, we'll be taking a trip down to Vegas to compete in the 10K SCG Con Riftbound event, the largest Riftbound event that has been held in North America thus far until we get to Houston within the next 2 weeks. Now, the thing about going from Union Arena to Azuki and finally Riftbound is how much of a skill ceiling there is in this game. It's so validating, and the best part is, even if I get eviscerated by someone who's way better than me, even if I lose, even if I win, there is always something that you can take from that game to help you improve your game moving forward, especially if the games are super close and you realize in real time that that one decision that you made costed you the game. I'm happy to say we were able to convert all the practice, all the hard work that we've put into this, and we placed 20th at the event. 20th out of 380 something people, which is amazing. And honestly, I think that I could have either top 16, I could have made top 16, or I think I could have top 8. What I want to do with this video slash vlog is basically recap some moments that I experienced in some of my rounds at Vegas and teach them into some learning moments for both of us, and things that I think you as a player should take into account as you continue to explore Riftbound, especially since this game to me is honestly like TCG chess. Like openings matter in this game. Your closing matters in this game, and understanding what your win condition is, understanding the matchups, everything, right? I first want to talk about the champion that I decided to take to Vegas, and that is Set the Boss. Now, the reason why I chose to take Set is because I think it has a good matchup spread into many of the top decks, as well as just many of the decks in general. Being able to have the power of Jesus Christ is just extremely strong. I tap, pay power, and I get to save a unit that is buffed. It comes up in some clutch moments, and it's really strong into the Kaisa matchup. In fact, I think it helps us be favored in that matchup, which is one of the reasons why I really gravitated towards the deck. I like to think that I'm a contrarian sometimes, but at the same time, now that I'm in Riftbound, I feel like a meta sheep, but I'm not like top 2 meta sheep. I'm like, oh, what's the tier under tier A? I want to see if I can beat people with that, right? And I landed on Set. Another reason why I decided to take this leader is because of the chosen champions that you can use, right? Set Brawler being extremely strong, being able to spend the buff and go up to 8, even 12, even some crazy numbers, right? On top of that, it comes in with a buff, so it comes in protected with a shield, and its brother Set Kingpin is also a extremely strong card, right? A 4 cost 7 might if you have a buff on it that allows you to fortify one of your locations, especially if you are going up against the aggro decks. Now, some more things about this deck. I just think there's a lot of lines. There's a lot of combos, and I am a big fan of combo breakers. I love combo breakers, bro. And if I could just combo out a couple things, a couple lines just to annoy my opponent, oh yeah, that's the type of player I am. That's the type of player I am. And all around, it's just a fun deck to play. That being said, let's get into the mix. So the first thing I want to talk about is learning from your misplays. Just learning from your misplays, right? That is the big learning point. And I want to talk about round 2 into Annie, a game that I honestly should have won 2-0, but ended up losing 2-1. Now, going into game 2 after taking game 1, I forgot one of the most important things about the Annie matchup with this deck, in something that I learned and utilized later on in one of my later games going into Annie, which honestly helped win me the game, funny enough, is siding in set Kingpin. Because Annie's so aggro and Annie has a hard time retaking locations that are just extremely fortified, you want to sideboard in that set Kingpin. That way it's easier for you to play and easier for you to start fortifying one side. Already off the rip, I forgot to do that. Now, the big moment that I want to capitalize on and highlight is the fact that at some point during this game, I had control of tempo, and my opponent makes a huge mistake by falling star my Fiora, the MVP of the day, by the way. And for those that don't know, Fiora has keywords deflect, shield, and ganking. And once she's on the board, it is hard to remove her unless you have like, what do they call it? Instant removal or blink removal. Now, the turn before my opponent decides to falling star me because he's feeling the pressure, I have the option of going up to either 5 points or 4 points. One thing that a lot of people say in this game is you want to stay on evens, because once you get to 6 points, you can just pull everything back and it's easy just to double conk and end game. I had some knowledge of being like, I'm probably going to be able to hold here, and if not, it's going to force my opponent to try and remove it so I don't get the hold point, meaning my opponent's going to have to go down on runes because of the deflect. Now, the most important thing here is I chose to go Cynthia into Pit Rookie, into buffing Fiora, into moving up and conking and going to 4 points, and then knowing that I would probably hold to 5. Now, in my head, I had told myself, go Pit Rookie, buff Fiora, move her up, get the conk, go to 4, then play first mate, ready her, and gank across to go to 5. That way, if I hold, which I'm most likely to hold in this situation, I go to 6 points and I can just pull back the Fiora, develop the set Brawler and the Cynthia that next turn. But for some reason, I think for those that play set, you'll understand that Cynthia is like an engine and she's vital to have on board. And I was just hyper fixated on getting her on the board and getting her established. Now, I chose the other line. My opponent ends up falling star. We have a judge call. He wants to know if he can take that back, because in Magic, you're able to take back certain moments. The judge rules in my favor. He goes down to 1 rune. And honestly, I probably should have still won the game, but I think my gas, like I just started running out of gas, and I think he just had multiple falling stars. I can't remember exactly what happened after that, but I did end up getting to like 7 points, but it was hard, right? Because I held, went to 5, and then that next turn I went to 7. But because I didn't have the set Kingpin or the cards to really do it, and my opponent has the fight or flights and the rebukes and stuff, it was hard for me to hold to go to 8. Now, if I had just done that first line, I would have held to 6. My opponent would have been on 1 runes. I could have just pulled everything back, and then that next turn, double push, 2-0 my opponent, and move on. Now, the sad thing about this is my opponent performed really well at that event. And honestly, either I win that match and I probably top 16 or even top 8, who knows, or my opponent doesn't get screwed over later on. And he ends up going 7-1-1 and I still top 16. And it's crazy to see at these type of big events how much tiebreakers play a part. So you always want to play to your best, always want to play to win. But we'll talk more about what happened with my opponent in the next subject. Lesson number 2 that I've learned. And it's crazy that I'm learning all these in a Riftbound big event. I've gone to UA big events, but the thing that I've realized, the environment feels so much different, and maybe it's different in One Piece. You know, One Piece is a very competitive game for Bandai, but I haven't played it. But the amount of judge calls, the amount of people playing to their advantage and utilizing the rule books and et cetera, et cetera. I've always had people like T-Mac, Tyler, the homies tell me, look, at an event, don't do that nice-ish, bro. If your opponent makes a mistake or plays something, blah, 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 call judge, bro. It's not sweet. We're playing for huge money. We're playing for what, 10K? Not 10K exactly, but like 5 grand. We're not sweet out here, man. And people are trying to cheat you. Exhibit A, free stoppers. Exhibit 8 free stoppers. I don't even want to get in on that. I think bruh made a video breaking down everything, but honestly, seeing the apology post being taken down and then like, just don't cheat. Just don't cheat. But use the rules to your advantage. Now, everyone hates slow players. I've had slow players in Union Arena, but I've never dealt with slow play in this sense. And it makes more sense because it's an Aurora deck. But when I tell you, bro, the difference between this dude and the homie Damien is immense. Damien understands his lines. He understands what he needs to do for the deck, blah, 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 blah. And he understands when he's not winning the match. My opponent, round four, right? I am currently 2-1, right? Don't want to go X2 this early on. My opponent is slow playing up the yin yang. The first round is already long because we're playing Aspirant's Climb. But on top of that, my opponent is like over explaining himself, not to me, but to himself, as if he's still learning the game. Like, okay, so then we do this, then we're gonna go over here and play this, and I think I need to be doing this here. Yeah, that's the right move. Just super egregious, super annoying. And the thing is, you could tell by his choices, his lines, certain things that he was doing, he understood what he was doing. He understood the game, and he was playing very well at a very high level, right? Now, we finished game 1, we go into game 2. Game 2 is just as close, but with game 1, I understood when I was going to lose. And knowing how much time you have on the clock is extremely important, especially in this game. We only have so much time before we go to turns. And even then, what I've learned is the judges won't let you go to game 3 if you don't have enough time on the clock. This is important. So game 1, I'm like, bro, I'm not winning this. Let's go game 2. Know when to concede. Apparently that's a skill. Go to game 2. Towards the end, I'm like, bro, if you don't have an answer for this, let's just go game 3. We have 3 minutes left on the clock with our extra allotted time. Let's just go game 3. Bruh sitting there like, I think I can answer it. He has a way to stop me from holding, but he doesn't have a way from stopping me from double conk. You don't have the answer. Let's go game 3. So we start up game 3. Judge comes over, is like, have you guys started? Is like, no, we're about to. We have 3 minutes allotted to us. He's like, oh, 3 minutes is not enough time to start the game, meaning we would ID, meaning that would honestly destroy my chances of, well, if I lose again, it would destroy my chances of even coming close to top 20, right? But if I won out from there, it would have been fine. But I'm not going to take an ID this early on, right? You don't want to take an ID this early on. And he's like, well, we have the 3 minutes. And he's like, yeah, but even then, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. The timer is still going down, bro. Let us just start and then we can go to turns. He's like, no. This is where you got to understand. You got to do what you got to do sometimes. Look this judge in the eye. I'm like, bro, can you go get the hedge judge? Because this doesn't make sense. He's like, all right. Goes get the hedge judge, right? While he's leaving, I look at my opponent. I'm like, let's just start game 3 and see what happens. So we get into it. By the time he comes back with the judge, right? Because judges were short and, you know, it's not their fault. They were answering other calls. We're already like 3 turns in. And the judge is like, bro, they already started the match. We're just going to watch. Let them play it out. We go back and forth, boom, boom, boom. I understand, and this is another thing, understand the rules, right? I guess this whole section is just understanding the rules, understanding when to use the rules to your advantage. I know that in a situation when we go to turns, whoever has the most points wins. I guess my opponent doesn't know this. You'll learn later on. But I'm playing set, he's playing an Aurora deck. Obviously, he could still probably play out units if need be, but I'm capturing points, going as fast as possible. Turns are going. He drops an Aurora, then he drops a second Aurora, right? And by the time he drops his double Aurora, it's turn 5. The game's over. The judge looks at it. He's like, okay, what are the points? He's like 2. He has 5. He's like, all right, he wins. My opponent's like, what? Wait. That's how it works? He's like, yes. He's like, okay, well, like, can we talk about conceding? Because like I have 2 Auroras out, and I think we could both agree that with 2 Auroras out, every time I win. Would you like to concede? I look him in the eye. I'm like, bro, are you serious? First of all, you were slow playing me all of these games. Second of all, we're going to points. This is how it works. You could have played the MF out a lot earlier, started ramping points earlier to contest my weenies, all these things, but you chose not to, and that's on you. The judge looks at me. He's like, do you wish to concede? No. Why would I? No, I would not like to concede. He's like, all right, there it is. Go ahead and report the points. I report the points. And honestly, at first, I thought I would feel bad, but I get it now. Everything that my homeboys have been telling me about these events and stuff like that, I get it and I understand. And sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? Within your means, within the rules, et cetera, et cetera. But like, that's how it works. That's how the cookie crumbles. Now, the reason why I wanted to bring this up with my former opponent, the Annie player, he was in a similar situation. The difference is his opponent just didn't want to start game 3 because he wanted to intentionally draw, and that was later on in the rounds. And my opponent, he was like, no, bro, we're not going to do that, because if we do that, that just kills both of our runs. His opponent refuse to start game 3, which is a dick move, bro. The minute someone says, no, I don't want to ID, you should start. And honestly, I feel like if he would have just set up his board, called judges like my opponent refuses to start game, I think the opponent should have just got a game loss, honestly. But after talking to all the judges, everything like that, they ruled it as an ID and they gave him a warning. You know, the game is new, judges are still learning, but honestly, I would have ruled that as a game loss. And it's unfortunate that both our situations were somewhat similar, but also different. And he wasn't really getting slow played throughout the game, right? Both of them are having tough choices, pacing, all that stuff. They had judge calls and stuff. But the difference is the opponent refused to go into game 3, whereas my opponent actually played. And thinking about how do you go about this? How do you play around this? That way it's in your favor. Honestly, I think you set up board, you decide turns, and if your opponent's going first, right, and his board's not set up, you just call judge, you let the judge know, like, my opponent refuses to play, and hopefully they rule it in your favor. And if not, hopefully it goes to times. And the reason why the opponent didn't even want to go to times is because I think it was a Ari versus an Annie matchup. The Ari player, right, is at a huge disadvantage going into turns, because Annie is fast. And I think he understood that. And I think he wanted to go ID because at least that is slightly better than losing, I guess. Use the rules to your advantage, understand your matchups, understand what your opponent's intentions are, and move accordingly. Number 3 is invest in your education as a player. I spent a long time on the drive back with one of my locals talking about how much I've learned from Metafies and how much I've taken from it. And normally I don't buy Metafies. Like, I used to think paying pros to learn was crazy and whatnot, but much like finding a personal trainer or picking up a unique skill set and finding a teacher for that, there's merit in paying someone for knowledge and learning how to digest that information, take it and turn it into your own. That way you continue to grow, right? I think that going into round 5 after that game, going into the Yi matchup, I feel like the Yi matchup is already hard for Set, and I just didn't understand the matchup. And I think there's a lot more that I could have done to learn about the matchup. And there's a lot more that I could have asked Tog, who is someone that has been not coaching me, but like coaching, I guess, the whole Set community with his amazing Metafy, bro. Shout out to Tog. If you're looking to learn Set, learn about the matchups, invest in his Metafy, bro. He has a plethora of knowledge, and it is worth the $20, honestly. Shout out to Tog, bro. But it's thanks to him that things like knowing Set Kingpin is a good one of in the deck just for the sideboard into the Annie matchup. It's understanding that you want to hold on to the Call of Glories into the Kaisa matchup strictly for the Falling Star. And honestly, even in the Annie matchup, having that discipline of holding on to the Call of Glory, knowing that they might also be running Falling Star as well. A lot of these things, understanding your openings. Again, this game feels a lot like chess, but in TCG form. Understanding your openings, understanding the best lines to start off to set you up for success, and then adapting accordingly as you play on, and then understanding your closings for how you want to close out the game. So, and I won't say every meta is worth it, right? Look at the reviews, ask people who are in it, and see what it is. But, you know, we have YouTube. Hopefully I can be someone that you come to learn about the game. And it's because of that well of information that I got from Tog, from playing against my homeboys, Tyler, T-Mac, Ming, bullying him, playing at my locals, that I was able to top 20. I was able to be one of 2 sets that represented sets in the top 32. There's still much more for me to learn. You know, I started playing TCGs competitively through Union Arena. I played Magic dabbling as a kid, but like never competitively. So playing Riftbound at a high level and performing so well, giving myself the best chances to perform well, is very satisfying, and I hope I continue to thrive as a player and also as a content creator to help others be put in a similar situation. The last thing that I would say, it's not really a lesson, but learning how to unwind. You know, these tournaments are long, especially Riftbound. 9 rounds, best of 3. That's what, 27 games that you're probably playing if you're going to 3 each time. Yeah, bro, be good to yourself. If you plan to travel to do these events, take this seriously, all that stuff, you have to know how to unwind. And you know, the homeboy, we ended up going to KBBQ afterwards. Bro got me meat. Bro stuffed me with his meat, bro. I mean, bro, the meat was thick, bro. Like, oh my gosh, bro, that KBBQ, bro, it was busting, bro. It was busting, bro. And then on the drive home, you know, having that conversation with your homeboy, recapping what we did that week, how we did, what we learned, him asking me where he think he can improve with his deck, all these things, and then stopping for Dairy Queen on the way back, you know, getting me the flamethrower. Bro, I'm mad, bro. All the Dairy Queens in LA aren't in LA. Like, they're all on the outskirts and they're all like 20 minutes away. But I got me a nice flamethrower. It was bussin'. And then I get home and I get to create a video like this, recapping my experience to you guys. And in a way, teaching is also a way of growing and learning. And honestly, this video is for me to understand what it was that I did, verbalize it, talk it out loud, and then watch it back once I upload the video, but also to hear feedback from all of you that decided to sit through this video and watch it as well. So if you guys have any thoughts on some of the things that I discussed, talked about, please leave a comment in the description below. Let's talk about it. Let's enjoy this tea break. So without further ado, I want to say thank you for stopping by my tea house. I hope you enjoyed your tea break, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. The bathroom toilet, bro. I took a dump, bro. I took a huge dump, bro. It took 3 flushes to get that bitch down. It just twirled, bro. Like...